Hello and happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. We got warmer weather on the way and a rather stiff breeze for this afternoon, bringing in that warm air. It is already February 24th, and this is a picture that I snapped off of the website at Glacier National Park. I believe that's Lake McDonald, which is the big one. I was out there last year and had a great time hiking around. They have a lot of snow up there, and it's been quite a long winter, as it often is up there in the mountains of western Montana. But an interesting picture there. Well, we're going to see a lot of our snow disappear across the continent as we have a milder flow of air coming, especially in those areas east of the Rockies. Rockies, of course, in that dark blue, a lot of snow there, especially in the ski areas. But all that snow that's from lower Michigan, or at least from southern lower Michigan south, is going to be melting as temperatures set up into the 40s. And in fact, once you get south of Chicago and South Bend, it could reach 50 here during the day tomorrow. So there's certainly a change of pattern for us. Still quite a bit of snow in New England, especially the northern part of New England. Well, we had 16 days in a row with colder than average temperatures, and this month averaging nearly 13 degrees colder than February of last year. So quite a difference one year to the next here in Michigan. Warmest February day we've had so far is 37, and we're 4.1 degrees colder than average. January was 2.6 colder than average, so we've certainly had a cold start to 2025. Days are getting longer out there. Sunrise time 7:25, sunset at 6:26 today, and that gives us about 11 hours of daylight. We only had 9 hours shortly before Christmas at the solstice, the winter solstice. So we are certainly gaining daylight at the rate of almost 3 minutes per day now. Well, daughter number 3 made this for us. This is a little graph that shows the high temperatures that we've had so far this month. We haven't had a lot of super cold days. You can see on the 18th we had a high of 16 and a low of 1. And we haven't had any really warm days. 37 is the highest we've been so far. We will certainly beat that here this afternoon. Well, we want to talk a little bit about our sponsor. This week we've been sponsored by Complete Care Concierge, and we want to thank you so much for coming on board with us here. If you need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service, Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move-in and move-out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. The work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. That's nice. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Are you an office manager? Well, keep your business looking and feeling its best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind. So once again, thanks to Complete Care Concierge for being our sponsor here this past week. Headlines, dry weather expected here today and tomorrow. There's still some icy spots this morning on some of the driveways, parking lots, and sidewalks, especially if you go north of Muskegon, where there's been a little bit more snow, Oceana, Mason, Manistee counties. Watch out for that a little bit, but main road's in good shape, and the snow will be melting today, so there'll be some puddles out there to dodge. Temperatures will be low to mid 40s here this afternoon, and it will be breezy. Winds kick up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Could see a gust up around 25 to 28 or so this afternoon. There'll be some rain showers here for the mid part of the week. Here's the snow that we expect in the next 72 hours, and you can see there's quite a bit of it in the mountains out west. The snowfall total at Mount Baker in Washington, that's a ski area there, they are up to 371 inches for the winter. That little dot of snow just to the northwest of the W there in Washington, that's Mount Olympus, an Olympic National Park there. Quite a bit of snow continues to fall in the mountains of Montana, the Bitterroots in Idaho, and the Tetons in Yellowstone National Park. In Michigan, the white indicates no snow at all over the next 72 hours, and that light blue indicates a dusting to an inch. So we're really not going to see much of anything here in much of the area east of the Mississippi River for the next couple of days. This is 7-day precipitation. Now, this includes snow and rain. And you can see there's going to be some decent rainfall down in Florida. They could use a bit of rain down there. Where they need rain the most is in places like Nebraska, and they're not going to get any there. We're looking at about a quarter of an inch of rainfall here Wednesday into Wednesday night in the West Michigan area here. Heavier snow will fall north of Sault Ste. Marie, and more heavy rain and mountain snows for the Pacific Northwest all the way down into the Sierra Nevada mountains of central California. Today, 45 degrees this afternoon, a breezy day, a smidgen of sun between the clouds. Temperatures start out in the upper 20s, humidity at 65% this afternoon, and winds 10 miles an hour early. Should kick up to closer to 20 miles an hour here during the afternoon. And there's a look at your forecast here. A chance for a little light rain and snow mix for Wednesday night into Thursday. But look at those temperatures. We've been stuck in the 20s here much of the month. We'll be in the 40s over the next 4 days. Cools off a little bit here on Friday, but that temperature is still pretty close to average for this time of year. So get out and enjoy the milder air. Here's high temperatures for this Monday, low to mid 40s for Michigan. It's going to make 50 or better in Indianapolis. Look for temperatures to come close to 50 in Chicago. And you can see how it's warming up in the Plain States. 62 today in Pierre and at Rapid City in South Dakota. And there's a look at high temperatures for Tuesday. We're 45 Grand Rapids, 51 in Chicago, 61 in St. Louis. And you can see the temperatures as warm as the upper 60s out there in parts of Nebraska. Dodge City, Kansas at 71. Don't let the green fool you down in Florida. That means temperatures close to average. That's still computer's still giving 73 there for Orlando, but that would be dependent on how much rain they get there. Here's a look at the latest long-range outlook, 8 to 14 days. Temperatures here near normal, and by the time we hit March 3rd and 9th, the average high temperature is 40. So we can expect a lot more days coming up here in the 40s over the next couple of weeks or so. Some interesting ads from daughter Michelle. Gaylord this season, 181.6 inches. They have 22 inches on the ground. Their all-time season snowfall record is 185.6. They will likely exceed that this year. And that whole area, Mansalona, Kalkaska, has really seen a lot of snow. This is a picture that Michelle took. Golly, this has got to be about 10 years ago. Yeah, I think it says down there around 2015. I got more comments when I showed this on TV. This gigantic ice fountain they have there. I assume they still have it. They let the water trickle down and it forms a gigantic mountain of ice up there. And then, of course, it takes forever to melt because it's ice. That is up in Gaylord. You can check that out if you go up there. A couple of photos sent in by viewers, and this is from Josh Brown. That is, that's King Steffen's Castle. It's supposed to be the Sleeping Beauty Castle down at Disney World, but the actual name of it is King Steffen's Castle. It's spelled a different way. It's Stefan. And the king thing gets into some fairies and all kinds of stuff that was going on, but that is the big castle there at Orlando, Florida. And a couple of photos from Nancy Thomas. That is Tombstone, Arizona. I have never been there, and I didn't know that the main drag there is not a regular street. It just looks like it did back in the 1880s or 1890s when they had the gold and silver rush out there. The dirt trails, of course, they don't have to worry about a lot of rain or snow there. They don't have to plow the streets down there, so it's a little bit different. But an interesting picture to show, and look at how clear the day was there. Lots of old West and attractions out there in Tombstone, museums, historical sites. Have to get there someday and check that out. The city was founded in 1879. Population shot up rapidly as there was some silver and gold discovered there, but the vast majority of people didn't see any real significant income from that. So thanks, Nancy, for those pictures. How did Tombstone get its name? Well, Ed here came to the area hoping for a successful silver mine. Someone said he'd find his tombstone before he found silver. I was probably right. So he named the area Tombstone, Arizona. Is Tombstone, Arizona, where Tombstone Pizza gets its name? Although not really. That was named after a local bar in Medford, Wisconsin. If you ever study fast food is actually fascinating. Arby's, for instance, stands for the initials RB. I believe that was founded in Ohio. A couple of brothers there decided that nobody was doing roast beef, so that's what they headed toward. KFC and Harlan Sanders was from, I believe, Corbin, Kentucky. I visited there twice. I like KFC. I think KFC is, I don't have it every night or anything like that, but the original recipe pretty good. Pizza Hut, I believe, was founded in Kansas by a couple of brothers. Mrs. Fields Cookies, if I remember this one right, she baked cookies for umpires because she was a bat girl for one of the, I think it was the Dodgers or something like that. So anyhow, maybe if there's not a book out there about fast food entrepreneurs, I should write one because they're an interesting bunch of people. Okay, this day in history, story time. Michelle works for American Airlines, and she's into looking up airline history. There was a disaster on this date that occurred in 1989. Flight was scheduled to go from LA to Honolulu and then on to Auckland and Sydney, Australia. And here's a look at what happened. The cargo door failed and shot out. The decompression there destroyed several rows of seating. There were 9 fatalities, but fortunately, the plane was able to land back in Honolulu. And as the investigators determined that there was improper wiring and a poor door design, the underlying cause of that. And that looks like it was a stamp collection or a coin collection that was on board that flight. Air travel is extremely safe. I tell people you're in greater danger from a car accident driving to the airport than you are from actually being on the plane and flying somewhere. But that's a really modern day miracle that we made air travel that safe. And again, some more information you can kind of read along there. And this was a cargo plane that the airline was trying to use to transport helicopters that was recently purchased in the United States. Air Dabia ended up. It says I ended up arrested for trying to bribe a custom official. He was arrested in Switzerland and extradited to Miami. So interesting. And there's a picture of Mali back on the upper right there. So that is in Central Africa, one of the few landlocked countries of Africa. The story continues. Fautanga Babani Sissoko only served half his sentence. According to Wikipedia, he paid $1 million to a homeless shelter, only served half his sentence. He was later arrested for fraud. He cannot be prosecuted for 12 years because he was in the Mali parliament. Interesting. Well, on that note, I want to hope you have yourself a great day today. Remember, much warmer weather this week. The snow's all going to melt off, and it will be a bit breezy here this afternoon. Thanks so much for coming to BillSteffen.com, checking out my YouTube page. Sheepers.